Hey guys, STLYoungblood with you to talk about the newest game mode available to us in Arena Commander, and that's Capture the Core. Now, if you don't know what Capture the Core is, it's basically a game mode very similar to the classic Capture the Flag. Your team's pitted against another team in an all-out effort to steal the enemy's core and return it to get your points. First team to get 3 captures wins. Now, you can't capture the core if yours is missing, which means that your team has to kill and return the enemy core before you can return yours. Basically, just like you'd expect with Capture the Flag. Now, the cores are big circles in space with a glowing center that you have to fly through to grab it, and at that point, it basically sticks to the hull of your ship. You need to return it back to your glowing circle in space. Now, Capture the Core is proving to be the most entertaining and engaging mode in Arena Commander, at least so far in my book. You know, it feels like you finally have a teamwork-oriented game that's encouraging that right type of gameplay that I think most of us were really looking for. This, however, varies greatly depending on who you're paired up with in matchmaking. Now, we do have squad battles now, which is a team game, but ultimately, it really just feels like a deathmatch because there really isn't a lot of help or helping going on in that game type. Now, Capture the Core has a ton of potential, and I'm personally really excited to see where this, what really comes from this and where it goes in later releases. Specifically, I want to see more ships in Arena Commander to really see how things pan out. I envision a game where we have bigger ships duking it out, clearing a pathway, playing defense, while we have the smaller ships and interceptors, trying to capture the core and chase down those that have the core, and then really, trying to make that dangerous run, evading their way back to the, the enemy or back to your own core. So the sounds in the game are really immersive as well, and they're rewarding. This big old thwomp sound that it makes when you capture the enemy core is really exciting, and it's something that I haven't personally experienced in this game yet. Having the objective, though, is what naturally seems to encourage the team play. A lot of times I'll grab the core and start booking it back, towards our side of the map, and I'll see 2 friendly fighters flying towards me to peel the enemies off of my tail. Along the same lines, I really enjoy trying to hunt down an enemy who's snagged our core before they can get it back to their gate. And then, sometimes it's fun as well. You're trying to stop that from happening, and then boom, all of a sudden your teammate steals their core, and then it's just kind of an all-out who can kill who faster type of scenario, and it is a lot of fun. Now, sometimes when you have the core, it's better to just hide and let your team finish them off. The problem that is there is with random matchmaking and communication being questionable in the game right now, you can't always really count on the competency of your team. Most people kind of seem to be playing well together, but there are some folks out there that are just trying to do their own thing. Now, this game is one that makes me interested in getting better command set up for power management. I personally envision putting more power to engines while I try to get the core on my initial escape, but then after I've kind of started booking it back towards my end and I notice I've got enemies on my tail, maybe then I shift my power, to my shields and then start getting more evasive to survive the journey back. Maybe we also see in future iterations the ability to lower your power overall, maybe giving you a smaller signature so you can hide within the asteroids, so maybe nobody picks you up on radar and you can kind of sneak up to the core. That sort of stuff is really exciting, and I want to kind of see how that continues to develop. Now, there's only a few things that I don't really care for in this game mode so far, and first off, it's pretty common to see enemies playing defense. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind that per se. I like that people are playing the game strategically. But what I don't really care for is the enemy sitting stationary at the other side of the ring, in a Hornet that's just sitting there waiting to kill you. Now, obviously, you could use a bit of strategy, or if you had teammates, maybe you could send somebody to attack him while you actually went through. But again, communication is kind of frustrating right now. It's smart on their part, but it feels a little campy at the moment. It does feel that Arena Commander has changed quite a bit since this most recent update. The ships feel clunkier and slower to fly. They definitely do feel a lot more durable overall, though. And the 300 seems to lost some of its killing power. I think the last point there seems to be more along the lines of how things should have been from the beginning, but a lot of times now it feels like the Hornet just melts the 300, which wasn't the case before, but maybe should be expected. So if you haven't played this game mode yet, go get some. I'm going to keep trying to play it and see what works and what doesn't, and I'll have a tips and tricks video coming out soon. Let me know what you think as you play this mode, and if there's any changes you would like to see made, or just pretend you were Chris Roberts for a day, what would you do? So that's it for now. Stay tuned for a lot more, and take care.